G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza and this is the Artist Showcase video series, and it's taking a bit of a change. So nothing too drastic. In the past I would receive all these entries, about 50 to 100 entries a week, and I would review all of them on Newgrounds and I would feature about 12 of them. I now have a format that is much more sustainable. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be featuring all of the showcase entries every week on Tumblr, on a post on my Tumblr page, jazzstudios.tumblr.com. The link is in the description. And I'll be giving every single entry my own personal rating out of 10 with a small sentence. I'll pick one or two things that I'll mention. It might be great composition, needs work with your painting or something like that. And then I'll be able to give each entry a short comment. It won't be a full review, but that way everyone gets some sort of feedback, and then I give a full review to 10 showcase winners, and I'll showcase 10 every week. They will also be given a place on the Tumblr. So I hope that that's something that people still feel like they get something out of, that they get a bit of feedback and they get to feel, you know, like they get to be shown off a little bit, because that's the whole point of the showcase. So I want to jump into this week's showcases, and the first artist is Rim Kello, and the piece is called Rooftop. And so it's this lovely sort of piece where the composition itself is really eye-catching. I like the perspective of the roof and how it frames the image. The painting itself is quite soft, and her eyes are really strong as well. So quite a loose sort of painting, nothing too sharp or crisp, but the aesthetic is soft and quite pleasing. Really good use of colours and really good painting, so good job. Our next piece is by artist Jinkins19, and it's called Catwoman, and it captures one of those old school comic sort of looks with a modern crispness to it and a really ambitious pose. Now I'm not sure if it's been copied, because it is a vast improvement over this person's previous work, but that aside, the execution is quite flawless, and that alone is definitely worth a thumbs up. Really great job there, great shading, great positioning, composition overall is really clever, so good work. Next piece by artist Rishro29 is called Seamus Aran. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's the Metroid chick, and it's really well painted, and the thing that stands out the most is the fact that this is one of these artists' first painting, and I think that is really good. There's a lovely smoky feel. I think I get the impression that this was painted in something of a more canvas program, where you can see the brush strokes and things like that, because it's done very effectively. The color balance and the overall composition is really good. There's a little too much empty space at the top, but that aside, the whole image is really pleasing and really great for an early work, so keep it up. Next piece by artist Memory Explosion is called A Tuck 5. It's got a really ambitious sort of pose. It's got a lens flare Photoshop thing, which isn't always too pleasing, but overall the painting is quite ambitious. The line work is crisp, and the image is of a really good quality. So it's an ambitious, stylistically complicated image. A little simple and kind of early in their development, but overall really well done, so great job. Next piece by artist Riversov is called Legion. It's one of those pictures that demonstrates good framing and aesthetic, where the execution might be quite simplistic. The paint strokes might not be necessarily over refined, but the way the image is composed is very visually appealing and storytelling. I really like the battle arms and all these things in the background, the way the fiery smoke behind them lifts those silhouettes out, and the way all of that frames the front central figure, and the perspective on the ground draws the eye towards the middle of the image. So really great work. Next piece by artist Dota Cinema is called Dota 2 Trow Ranger Portrait, and it's by Neil from Dota Cinema, who is the manager of that YouTube channel. He's a great guy. I've got him on Skype. He sent me this a month ago or so, and I'm so sorry it took me so long to get to it, but it's definitely well worth a feature, because I've seen this guy's paintings as he's started developing. He's shown me some of his paintings as he's gone on, and he finally got to the place where he felt like he wanted to submit something and submit it to the showcase, and I feel like, especially considering the vast amount of progress he's made, it's well worth a feature, and it's a bit of love giving in return as well, considering the fact that his work with with me on his channel has been really helpful to me. So, I mean, it's not totally unbiased. The fact is, it's really well painted, and for a beginner, you've done a great job. So thank you very much, Neil. Keep it up. Next piece by artist Askion Kataskion is called Knowledge's Severed Hand. A simple image, not too much in an environment or in terms of, painting style or anything like that. So it's not overcomplicated, but in what it's conveying, it's very clever and well presented. I really like the mix of kind of line and stippling effect. It's an effective way of shading without shading, if that makes sense. And the image itself and the theme is quite creepy and well conveyed, so good job. Next piece by artist Ant Eriksson is called Dead Heroes Photoshop Painting, and it is Mario and Luigi's skulls over top of those question mark block things, and the way the colours mix and the way the whole piece is framed overall is really well done and very crisp, especially considering this artist's previous work. They've made a lot of progress, and this theme is really well picked, well executed, and well done, so good job. Next piece by artist Mr. Snuggle is called Evil Guys. This was something of a conceptual practice piece where they were practicing their brushwork and creating, characters with something of a more, gritty aesthetic, gritty personality. And I think that they've done a really good job. They have a grisly look. They have a really unique sort of visual where they're very memorable. That he picked things that stand out to make someone look villainous, like the mustache and the scars on the forehead of the guy on the left, and the very drawn and rugged look on the guy on the right. So really good job. Keep up the good work. Our final piece and the feature of this week's artist showcase is by artist May Titan, and it's called Where'd You Go? It's a portrait of his late pet rat Puck, and it's got two main points to it that I think earned it this week's showcase. First of all, he picked something that he cared about. Obviously, his pet was something close to him, and he created a bit of an ode to it. So I feel like artistically, creating something that you're connected to is at the core of artistry, and I think that's very, very cool. The second thing is, technically, it's a very well done painting. The gradient feel and the strokes, the soft strokes, and the way the overall thing is presented, painted, the general colors and aesthetic of the whole piece, really well done. And so artistically, in terms of the emotion and the connective level of the piece, very well done. And then artistically, in terms of the technical execution, very well done. So I look forward to seeing more of this artist's work. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me for this week's artist showcase. Make sure to check out the Tumblr page to see the rest of the entrance to the showcase. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you later. Do you want a chance for your artwork to be featured in the next showcase video? Upload your artwork to the art portal on newgrounds.com. Send me a link to your artwork by going to jazza.newgrounds.com and click Send a Private Message. Make sure to include the word showcase in capital letters in the message title and give me a link to your piece of art. Please be considerate of my time by submitting no more than one image per week to the artist showcase, and make sure it's on newgrounds.com. Thanks for checking out this week's showcase. I look forward to seeing your art in the future.